Hey guys, what's going on? It's Train Volk here, back with another video, and talk about Street Fighter today because Sagat's been out. So, this character is officially going to get me like really back into Street Fighter. I know I was playing Elena, and I said I was enjoying her, which I was, but as soon as Sagat got announced, it kind of killed my interest. I'm like, well, Sagat's like my favorite Street Fighter character of all time. I'm just gonna wait for Sagat to come out. So I've been playing him for a couple of days, obviously, and I really like the way he plays in this game. But I wanted to give my first impressions of like how good he actually is. So there's a couple of things that need to be addressed, I think, when talking about this character. First things first is you cannot approach this version of Sagat with wanting the old school Sagat. This is not the I'm gonna put you full screen tiger shot all game kind of Sagat. This is an entirely different character. I know that some people they won't like that, but that's where it is. So what have they kind of retooled him into? They've retooled him into kind of a corner push character, and what he wants to do, in my opinion anyway, is he wants to get that old school corner pocket. But obviously he's not going to be able to do it with just tiger shots. That's why they buffed the fuck out of all his big normals. You know, why he's got this target combo, why he's got this target combo. Why forward light kick is better than it's ever been. Why step kick is a little faster, so it's not duck reactable necessarily. He's like a bully. He's a bully character. And now he can zone out some characters, that's for sure. And he can win zoning wars because of the fact he can do EX high fireball, and if you see a hit, you know, hit converts into the Tiger Cannon every time. You get a 27% projectile. So, like, that's pretty good, obviously. So, I want to talk about, so far what I've noticed what his strengths in this game are, and what his weaknesses are. So, I'll start the weaknesses off the bat. First of all, to complement or, you know, offset his big buttons, he's got really terrible whiff recovery on just about everything. Like, this is 40 frame whiff recovery, this is 43, this is 35, sweep is 39. His big buttons that he uses for whiff recovery are, like, pretty punishable, and so are his mediums, too, like 24, 26, 29. These are all pretty punishable by the character's better at whiff punishing within like range like 2, 1.5. So that's the thing you have to worry about. You have to be, I would say, you have to be more precise with this character than the average Street Fighter 6 character. You have to place your buttons well, and that can be a bit mentally taxing. That means that you kind of have by default more mental stack on yourself that you have to manage, and that can be a pain. Another thing is he hasn't really a drive rush Oki off throw. As we know, like, if you don't have the corner, you don't even get a throw loop proper, and if you're in the corner, you have to drive rush to get a throw loop. And I think he got cursed with having a 1 frame throw loop, a 1 frame length throw loop. So he doesn't get to play that kind of traditional game of Street Fighter 6. He also doesn't have crouching medium kick drive rush, which also hurts his like fitting into the meta. Now, do I think this hurts him so much that as some are saying he's like bottom tier? I don't think it does. I think I'll prove that what he does in this game is worth the sacrifices, but it can be kind of awkward to play without having a crouching medium kick drive rush and not having like a proper throw loop in the corner. But let's see, what else do I think he doesn't have? And then, I'm not going to call this a con per se, but it is a skill check with the character. Is that, so every shuttle in this game, they just kind of medium DP against every jump. Sagat, you cannot do that. Sagat's DPs are more precisely spaced from each other. So light is literally just right in front of him. Medium is a little bit in front of him, and then heavy is like what you use in place of like a Kara DP. Like someone jumps for full screen, you know, you can tag them. So the thing about this particular iteration of Sagat is that what did they do to like compensate for the fact that, you know, his zoning is not as good? And don't let anyone fool you. Like high tire shot, both versions of it, these are busted as fuck. Low tire shot is a bit of a problem. As you're seeing, we're seeing some characters, they can literally jump this, land, and punch you, which is a bit of a problem. So you're going to have to sort of just say, I'm not going to use low tire shot for the most part. You're only going to use it to like a breakthrough zoning war, like that. So that's about the most you're going to do. So I would not recommend using low tiger shot for the most part with this character until it gets buffed, except to win a fireball war to get the momentum back. So let's talk about, I'm going to talk about pros though. So godlike footsie tools, heavy punch, heavy kick is a ridiculous target combo. And there are lots of spacing traps that you can set this up with. And the other thing about this is that this target combo, every single time it hits, you get a free, perfect, meaty, heavy tiger knee for +5 on block. And same thing goes for his medium kick, heavy kick target combo. You get the same setup. It's +4 instead. It's 1 frame different, but still pretty good. So these target combos do a lot to help out his like footsie game. And obviously he has crouching heavy punch. And this is like single hit confirmable. I would recommend going into the lab and setting random block and just practice hit confirming this, because it is single hit confirmable. It goes into any one of his specials, so you can do heavy DP, you can do heavy knee, you can do heavy can't do heavy Jinrai, I guess, but still you can do medium Jinrai, yeah, or you can do low shot or high shot. So this button especially is insane. You're only gonna get full combos if you commit to EX Tiger Nexus, which I would recommend learning how to do too, hit confirming this in the Tiger Nexus, because you get good damage off this. This is like kind of like Elena with her crouching medium punch. This is like your crouching medium kick button, especially because drive rush cancelable. But as you can see, you get a pretty sizable chunk of damage, especially if you spend one more bar of drive rush. So that's one thing about him that's really good. His whip punishment is crazy. You know, light jab, his jab is crazy. Combos into medium DP from max range. Same thing for light kick. Light kick combos in the medium DP from max range. If it punish counters, like if you whip punish with it, you actually get heavy DP off light kick, which is pretty good. I don't know jab does. Okay, jab does too. So his whip punishment is really good. One of the things that really stands out about him in this game in particular is his frame traps are brutal. He has some of the highest reward frame traps in this game right now. So set a panic mash setting here. So, like, for example, he has a +2 on block, crouching, standing medium punch. This is like SF5. So, sorry, I'm gonna screw it up, of course, because I'm recording. Yeah, so like, for example, you can frame trap into crouching light punch, crouching medium punch. If you have 1 bar of super, you can make this really hurt. So, right, 28% just for them trying to mash on basic frame trap. And I'll talk about the supers in a bit, but his super economy, the way you use his super meter, is a little different, I think, than most characters. So, even if you don't do that as your frame trap, still get heavy DP here, right? Big chunk of damage. And that's just his light kick confirms, right? So another example is a step kick is +4 block in this game. You can trade. Oh, actually. Yeah. So, step kick, +1 block. And you could just beat out any button clean with this. Once again, I'm going to show an example using a bar super meter. Right. So, his frame trapping is like devastating in this game. Completely devastating in this game. And the same thing goes for, like, if they try to throw on hit. So, like, I'm going to show an example. This is pretty common. So, whenever he does this, low step kick is pretty good in this game. It, like, you can pretty belligerent with it. So you can do. They have to answer immediately a throw here, right? Which allows you to do like. So like this is kind of unreactable. So that you get punish counter, as you can see, you get punish counter crouching medium punch. Yeah. So you get really good reward off that. That's not even like accounting for like. I don't know why I can't actually walk away from there. Of course, you can also frame trap the throw tech. But you're better off, especially they try to do delay throw tech, right? So let's say they do delay throw tech, which by the way usually amounts to 3 frames, if you're wondering. Well, now they get crush countered, and they explode. Just fucking explode. So his frame trap game is superb. His shimmy damage is superb. So he's a very scary character to just try to play a generic strike throw game against, which I really like. The other thing about him is, as I'm sure you are aware, his anti-air game is crazy strong. So even though you have to be more precise with it, of course, Tiger Uppercut is great in this game. So you have 5 frame light. This is usually what you use. Medium, they're a little farther away, but they also have the same properties. And then you have your heavy, which we'll talk about in a bit, because obviously this is more niche uses outside just be a combo ender. So here's the thing about heavy DP. We're gonna do a drill. We're gonna do the anti-air drill. So this does work. Back heavy punch into heavy DP does work, but it has to be super preemptive. It is a reaction anti-air, but it has to be based on a read, right? So it's like what some people call like a semi-hard read. So you have to know it's coming, and if you know it's coming, you're looking for it, you can anti-air it on reaction. And this is a big deal, right? Like, this is match swinging damage, right? Now, of course, if not, you know, if you're ducking, DP will do just fine. Especially because, I mean, you do 17% on your medium DP alone. Now, if you're like a Giga Brain person, let's see if I can get this. You can get an invincible heavy DP, but it's kind of weird. Sometimes you hit them and it does 1920 damage. Sometimes you hit them and it does 1200. So you're better off just sticking to medium or light DP. And of course, there's also forward step kick, or they try to jump into you, right? Hold on. Now this is also, this is more like a setup, right? Like, you fireball from like half string away and to try to jump in, you would use step kick to do that, to blow that up. So, an example of something you would do with that, like what you do with the step kick anti-air. So first of all, obviously you can get this, right? You get a DP. Now, if you're really quick, yeah, you can get DR into crouching medium punch, heavy punch target combo. I'm not gonna say this is worth going for, by the way. Don't even think about it really, but I'm just showing it's possible. And obviously, of course, the classic jumping medium punch air to air into light DP. This works at like almost any kind of jump in timing. Let me turn off. Well, I gotta preset everything, I guess, to... Oh yeah, okay. Okay. So, what I like to do when I hit step kick, though, if I had the bar for it, I like to do level 2. This is very consistent. As you can see, you do gigantic damage off it. It'll connect from almost any range. Also, you can get level 3, of course, the Sagat Classic. This is just step kick into Ultra from Street Fighter 4, pretty much. Right. There's another one that's big. If you're close enough. you can hit back heavy punch. But it has to be on like one of these awkward, super close hits where you almost cross under them. And even that doesn't connect. It's more like for the corner. So keep that in mind too, that if you have them cornered, you can hit this. So if you hit a step kick juggle, you can get the big damage. So I would almost call the heavy punch charge DP anti-air, I would almost call this one of his win conditions because of how much damage it does, obviously, right? There's also the fact that I do it to show this. If you do this to level 3, they die. There's no CA, no counter hit damage, as you can see. So like, that's another thing, right? If you have level 3 up and they make a bad jump, it can cost them the game in a way that other characters in this game aren't doing right now. So he's got really great frame traps for bullying. He's got really great anti-air damage. He's got very good space control tools. Another thing I kind of like about this character is that his perfect parry damage is brutal. So let's look at like an easy thing. So an easy parry trap in this game with him is just do 4 heavy kick and parry. This works a lot. Hold on, then not said it. Oh, okay. So crouching light punch. Okay. Right, 17% on the perfect parry, and that's like, you know, that's mild, right? That's not like anything that's more negative than that, right? Like, let's see, I think medium punch is more negative on perfect parry. Yeah, so this is 13, right? As you can see, it's 13. So do something like that. So, yeah, I guess I could do something more like this. Hold on. You get the idea. Although I would recommend for your perfect parry, until you can get 4 heavy kick and get your full crush counter combo, I would just do back heavy punch charge DP for your parry. Like, it's easy, does humongous damage. I just recommend doing this altogether. Like, it's a big enough chunk that your opponent will be very afraid of you, right? If you want to do something else, like, you want to do, like, a super or something, you know, you can do, like, crouching medium punch heavy kick, and you can do it, like, off something like this. One. Do something like that. You know, there's a lot of options you have. But I just take the easy route. For now, I just do this. It works off pretty much almost anything you can perfect parry. If you can't perfect parry anything with that, then just do heavy kick into DP, I guess. Or Yeah. Something like that. But, yeah, I'm gonna start making content now for the game, because I'm gonna grind Street Fighter now. My favorite characters in the game. And he plays pretty much exactly like how I kind of envisioned he would in this game, and I'm having a lot of fun. So I just wanted to give like a first impressions of Sagat video, though. Having a lot of fun with him. I think he's really good. I think people are really upplaying his weaknesses right now. My only request would be they can't leave low Tiger Shot in its current state. This kind of sucks. But aside from that, I think people just need to change their mentality. He's no longer a zoner. This is a classic fundamentals footsies character who uses his fireballs for footsies and space control. That's it. He still has fireball traps, but they're not the same as they were, and they're a lot fewer than they used to be. And I think that's for the better. It makes him a more interesting character. And it's more mentally engaging to play this version of Sagat, in my opinion, than previous ones. And I'm having more fun as a result. And I think what they have taken away from him is made up for just in the huge damage, the round-ending frame traps he has. I think all that stuff makes up for what he's lacking. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What are your first impressions of the character? Catch you guys later.